interracial relationships. Guys, it's hard out here in these streets. And your relationship is gonna end before it even has a chance to begin. Okay? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm back with another topic today. I hope you guys are excited. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to my previous video about long distance. If that's the kind of content you like, go back to my previous video and make sure you watch it. So I'm kind of nervous to even discuss this topic, but you know, your girls got you. All these topics that everyone is afraid to talk about, that's why I'm here, guys. A disclaimer, I want to say that everything that I'm going to say on this video is not meant to offend anybody. It's not meant to make any culture or ethnic group feel a certain way. It's just educational. As a country, we've evolved. We've had many racial tensions from apartheid to in a time where there's many possibilities like interracial relationships. Point number 1, do not get into interracial relationship with ignorance. Do not be ignorant. I can't stress this enough, because it's somebody who can potentially be your life partner. You cannot enter with ignorance. For example, I'm a black girl and my husband is a different race, right? And there's certain things as black women, as black people, any other race should understand about black women's hair. If you're dating a black girl and you're a white guy, you're Indian, whatever race you are, you need to go read books, go find out more information. In fact, now it's so easy. You don't even have to go to the library. You just have to download an ebook. Go on Amazon, go wherever, and download an ebook just so you know what you're getting yourself into. Because ignorance has caused a lot of people pain, unnecessary pain. There is a stereotype that black women do not love their natural hair. There's a stereotype that, oh, why y'all always wearing weaves? These are the kind of ignorant statements that we need to get rid of. Do your research. If you must know, black women actually do love their hair, but there's just one problem. It's not as manageable as other people's hair. It's an afro, it's thick, it's rich, it defies gravity. So obviously the process of handling it is very different, and because of the systems that were in place for so long, we could not find out how to take care of our hair. I mean, all my life I've had to relax my hair. I hated it. Some of our parents did not know how to handle our hair. They did not know that our hair needs moisture, that our hair needs special oils. You know, all that we know now because we are free and information is available for us. Like right now, I could totally take my phone, go on YouTube, Google how to take care of 4C hair. That's my natural hair. So do your research, find out about your partner's ethnicity, find out about their history, because if you know somebody's past, then you understand why they act the way they do. You understand certain things, how they handle themselves. You understand why they're passionate about what they're passionate about, and you tend to respect it more. But if you just walk into it with no research whatsoever, chances are you're gonna offend them and your relationship is gonna end before it even has a chance to begin. Point number 2, we need to respect each other's cultures and practices, because it's very important. You can't say you love somebody and disrespect their culture or what they believe in, what they practice. You cannot. So if you're in an interracial relationship, you need to respect each other's cultures, your practices, and your traditions. For example, when you get married to an African woman, you're gonna have to pay lobola. If you don't know what lobola is, it's dowry. In Indian culture, I think it's dowry, and in English, it's bridal price. I don't know if I'm right. Anyway, you're gonna be with her, you need to understand those certain things. If you were ignorant, for example, you're gonna get into it and find out while you're in it that, oh, when I say respect each other's traditions and practices, that's one of the things I mean. I once had somebody else say to me, so do people really have to pay your parents when they come marry you? You know, keyword pay, right? So it means basically we buying you. Keyword buy. A person who would actually say such statements is a person who did not do their research before dating an African girl. It's somebody who did not fall in love with the whole entire person, because if you fall in love with someone, you fall in love with them, you fall in love with who they are, where they come from, what they believe in, how they view the world. That's what we call falling in love with somebody. So when you make such statements as, oh, so I have to buy you, let's say it's a white person or a colored person, just because you guys don't practice it, it does not mean you should look at it or view it as a weakness or try to poke at it. So basically, do not criticize something you don't understand. Lobola has been a part of the African culture for so many decades, and people have practiced it with so much respect, and it has a lot of meaning behind it. I'm not going to explain it over here. It's okay to not understand something, but it's not okay to criticize it. It's not okay to not do your research so you understand it better, or in fact ask politely. If you ask any African guy or African girl and you ask them, can you tell me a bit about Lobola? I'm just interested. I bet you 90% of those people are going to happily explain it to you and tell you why it's there, and even maybe give you a history lesson about it. Point number 3. You guys need to avoid political topics, avoid any racially fueled topics. At family gatherings, with people that are your extended family or anyone else, if it's not the both of you, avoid those topics. I'm speaking from experience on this one. I've always been a person who likes to debate, who likes to talk about different things with different people, see what they feel. Very quickly I realized that my political alliances, or what I believe about race and ethnicity and culture and background, all those topics, of course with my husband I can still discuss them openly and not be afraid to be judged, or not be afraid that he'll get hurt, because he knows who I am. However, as if there's extra people around us, his family, my family, anyone, I need to avoid such topics, because not everyone is going to understand what you're saying the same way your partner would, because you guys already know each other. I'm sure you finish each other's sentences. I'm kidding. But you know what I mean. You guys know each other, you guys are in sync, and you don't get offended easily because you know and understand each other. But if you're at a family gathering, because of our unique interracial situations, so that means most of the people here look like him, and have the same cultural practices as he does. So therefore, I cannot be my normal self and come through and say, yeah, I believe in this and this and that, and I believe this and this and that about ethnicity, about culture. No, because already interracial relationships need to be handled with sensitivity and respect. Now, with that being said, if you add these other things on top of it prematurely before you guys are ready to handle it and in front of other people, somebody's gonna get hurt. So would you rather voice your opinion in front of people, his family, his friends, or her family or her friends, and regret it? Or would you rather keep it to yourself and have that conversation later on with him and see how he feels, see what he thinks, because he knows his ethnic group better than you could ever know. I'm not saying don't talk about them. I mean, obviously, if you're in a family that is very political and open, y'all have debates, and you clearly can read the room and see that these topics I'm not gonna offend anybody. Everyone there understands you, knows your heart, knows who you are, and knows you wouldn't want to hurt anyone on purpose. Then go ahead and do it. Point number 4: protect each other. Have each other's back. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, y'all have been waiting for this point, I guess. When you're in an interracial relationship, do not be naive and think that you guys are safe from racial comments, you guys are safe from abuse, mistreatment. You're not safe from that. In fact, I think it happens more often to interracial relationships than any other couple, for obvious reasons. That is why it's important to have each other's back. Here's an example. So I'm always going to make an example about me and my husband because it's the closest. Y'all get what I mean. Anyway, obviously I moved here. I'm the different one. Or when you take your partner who's whatever race to your family gatherings who are different, who look like you, obviously, you need to be aware of him or her at all times. Understand that just because you are not racist, just because you don't have an issue with color and you don't see it, it does not mean the people around you are the same. They're gonna try to throw jabs at your partner who looks different. Some will do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is reality, it's the reality. Unfortunately, we are not all the same. We haven't all evolved, and we can't change the world. You can't force people to accept certain things if they've been taught all their lives that they shouldn't. Therefore, protect your partner. Understand that when they're with you to the family gatherings or whatnot, even though they act tough, even though they're trying to be, all calm and everything, deep down they're overwhelmed, they're vulnerable. Especially if you've already had issues of being abused by family members or being abused by partners' circle. If you've had that experience, then you will always be anxious and nervous and vulnerable. So therefore, as a partner, do not go there and go sit with your uncles and your aunts and your friends and whatnot for hours without checking on your partner. You need to think further. Guys, it's hard out here in these streets. It's hard out here in these streets. But we push forward. We push forward with positivity, with love. And you know what? This is definitely not my husband. It's not his immediate family. They love me. They're amazing. They're good to me. However, these things happen. So as a partner, on the topic of protecting each other, when you hear a comment or when you hear a conversation leading up to something that you're very, very sure is racially or culturally fueled, and you feel like that's going to offend your partner, shut it down. Shut it down right there and there. In a polite manner, if you need to be a little, you have to. Obviously, depending on the comment, how extreme it was. They don't always say things the way you wanted to say them. They don't always come out the way you imagine them, okay? Things happen. We don't need to be extra sensitive as well. You need to have your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend's back like your life depends on it. These are the tips to last longer, to be together for long in a relationship. This is not any family member or anything. It was just an older man from somewhere, and I was about to go home to go visit my mother in Witbank. So they found out I'm going. Oh, so you're going? And that man said, oh, so you're going to Kuvuki land? I hit a nerve because I was like, why is it Kuvuki land? I mean, we all watched the Leon Schuster movie. It's a place that's not fully developed. It's not a developed place. There's no buildings. It's just, it's like the rural areas where our grandmothers used to live, that type of vibe. And something in me was offended that, wow, so I'm going to Witbank at home. And by the way, Witbank is sort of a suburban area, by the way. But I didn't care about that. But what I cared about was the comment. It came out a bit wrong. And my husband obviously didn't address it. I didn't address it either. I was just like, oh, okay. So when we went home, I started being like, how could you allow that person, that man, to talk to me like this? How could you let him do that? And it was a sort of a whole thing for a couple of minutes. And I realized there that we had fought so many battles. We had blocked so many comments and so many jabs that he doesn't always catch all of them. And I also don't need to be sensitive to be looking out for who's gonna say what. No. So when it happens to you and you're in this interracial relationship and you're married or you're dating and it happens to you, you need to understand that your partner can't always fight those battles. Your partner will obviously deal with the extreme ones, but the other ones you need to sort of respectfully shut them down yourself or ignore them, depending on who you are, and keep it moving, because this is an interracial relationship. Our history as a country, where we come from, apartheid. Those issues. There's still racial tensions there and there. As much as we have opened our eyes and we're more welcoming of each other's ethnicities and cultures, and South Africa is becoming this amazing place, there's still a few of those things that are going to happen, and focusing on them might actually drag or suck the energy out of your relationship. Some things you need to just ignore. Your partner doesn't need to fight every single battle.